Boys are going to bring the heat today.
As the leader of the Booner pack, I lead from the front.
All right, boys. Lock in.
It's our core foundation, man. Grit.
I'm fired up. I'm fired the f*** up, boys.
It's pumping right now. It's got my juice pumping, boys.
Welcome to Crunch Time Sports with Jeff, Boone, Lukas. Lukas will be joining us. He's at a doctor's appointment, but we are back. It's Thursday, March 13th. We're continuing We didn't have our free agency stream today, but we're covering the NFL free agency. If anything happens, I guess it could.
We're live for it now.
I guess, yeah, something could happen, I guess. But appreciate you all and the support this week. It's been amazing. The streams are a lot of fun. Today we'll get into the press conferences, DJ Reed, also Roy Lopez. They all spoke to the media. And then on top of that, we'll talk about some things we're expecting out of the NFL free agency period for the Lions, because I think there's still some work to do.
Yeah. By the way, can you guys hear me? Am I going crazy over here? It's like in my mind.
You sound
typically,
fine.
Typically, I can hear myself in my headphones. I can't hear anything in my headphones. So, I'm pumped up. Free agency is kind of, I don't want to say like, what's the word? Like underwhelming, more so. I would say like it just really just signed a lot of their own guys. DJ Reed was a good one, but outside of that, just another work week. It feels like for Brad Holmes, it didn't do much outside of in-house deals, which I was thinking about more, Jeff. Like that feels like that's going to be the norm for the next 2 or 3 years in free agency, because you have so many guys in-house that you have to pay. So it does make sense, I guess. Disappointing, yes, but it is what it is. Sorry, two boys, losing my voice. It's like on its last leg.
I understand that they're not going to be busy in free agency signing a bunch of players. But I think to not sign anyone and pull that excuse to me is a little lazy. I think that's a little lazy because we see the Eagles and Chiefs make signings. I mean, Josh Uche just went to the Eagles. You saw the Chiefs sign a left tackle, and they're making some moves. Like, it's not like, I get it. I'm not expecting them to spend a bunch of money, but to me, that's a little like to be like, oh yeah, well, all you're going to get is Roy Lopez because we got to re-sign everyone. It's like, okay, you could.
I agree.
You can always find someone to come and join on a 1-year deal, help your chances of winning a Super Bowl. Like, I don't know. Like, I hope I'm not sounding too like a little too butthurt with that one, but that's just where.
No, I think that's like a reality, to be honest. Like, I think Lions fans, like, you should be like, why isn't there a new edge in the building? Like, you're doing all these free agency press conferences today. Why wasn't there an edge in there doing one? Why isn't there a guard there? And you just moved down from Kevin Zeitler. Like, I think that's like fair to say. Like again, Uche just signed, and it's like that's a guy who we've talked about on our show, not just in free agency, but like trade conversations. Like, we've had these conversations about these guys, and it's not like, again, this edge room. This is something every year I feel like we have to have this conversation where they feel like they're like, hey man, we're so good. Like, doesn't it feel like deja vu a little bit to the Lions fans? Like 2 years ago, there was a conversation where it's like, Brad's like, no, we're going to trust the guys in the edge that we have. And then you go into the year and you can't trust either the Onwuzurike brothers or Charles Harris. And you're like, okay. And then he moves on, but he still keeps Levi and Josh and, brings in Marcus Davenport and these guys. And he's like, we're going to trust the guys we have. And then, okay, guess what? Guys got hurt because those are injury prone guys and it didn't work out. And then now we're in a free agency and it's like, it feels like it's going to happen again to where you're in a year 3 or, obviously it's year 4 or 5, but like you're in offseason 3 straight where he's like, we're going to trust the guys in-house for edge. It's like, at what point do you make that move?
Yeah, it's trending. Again, the free agency is not over, but we're just reacting to day by day. But at this point on March 13th, it's the feeling I'm getting is we're going to trust a rookie, which like, okay, like that's not really ideal, but okay, that's where it's heading. I mean, at this point, you're going to really put all your faith in a rookie to come in and be really productive, which Brad has drafted guys that have been really productive for the rookie year, but That's a lot to put on a rookie, man. It just
Were you
it
shocked
is.
last night that the doc was so far, we have the doc on and he was so far in on trusting a rookie? I was a little shocked, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, you're risking. You can't afford like Latu is one of my favorite edges last year for the Colts. He's drafted to the Colts. He didn't have a loud year with sacks, but he's a guy that's probably going to have a breakout year this year. Not everyone that gets drafted, and he was a top 15 pick, is going to come out and get 8 sacks their rookie year or be dominant their rookie year. It's hard to depend on that. You know what I mean? So if even the guys that I love, like Latu was one of the best edges last year. Verse was another one, and Verse ended up being like a defensive rookie of the year candidate. Like maybe you get a Verse, but at this point, if you don't sign an edge, I mean, you better hope you get a Jared Verse.
Yeah,
that's what you're going to be looking for. So.
I mean, dude,
again, still time. Maybe I'm delusional, but I still think if he signs an edge, I still believe it because the Eagles brought in Josh Uche. They brought him in on a cheap deal. That's an exceptional signing. Great signing for them. He's going to be great for them. Cheap. It's probably a flyer deal, just like most Super Bowl teams give out. You don't have to commit long-term money to any of these guys, but
look at them. They lose Josh Sweat. Okay, let's get an Uche to fill the void, right? And then you go in there and you have Jalen Carter in the middle, and you have, elite linebacker play. Elite, you already have an elite defensive line. You have some great second, and you just plug and play. And then all right, that's your next man up. And that's something the Lions don't have right now at edge. They don't.
Yeah.
You should want to bring guys in to help get them their next deals because they're playing so well. I loved Jeff, honestly, and I heard you say the whole point yesterday with the Latu and all of that. Like, when you said that, I was driving home, and I actually legit – that was a moment where I was like, this whole offseason, and I've been one of the ones saying, hey, go get yourself an edge. Donovan Izaraku, like, go get someone that can get you 6 to 8 sacks. But then when you look at these classes, like when you brought that up yesterday, dude, the highest edge rusher last year, not even edge rusher, he's an interior. Braden Fisk, 8.5 sacks. And then Chop Robinson had 6. And then it goes down to 5. And then Jared Verse, who was a 19th overall pick, had 4.5. Latu had 4. Dallas Turner in the first round, he had 3 for the Vikings last year. You can even keep going down. Another first round pick, Darius Robinson, 1 sack last year and then gets hurt. So and a lot of these guys just have 2 or 3, even second round guys, third round guys. So just putting all of your faith in a first, even though it's a first round draft pick, even to James Pierce, as much as you love him, how do we know James Pierce doesn't come into next year and only get 4.5 sacks, 3 sacks? Right. I've been very and I said it yesterday. You don't need a 15. I said it on the phone with you yesterday when I called in. You don't need another 12 sack guy. You need a guy that can get you 6.5 to 7 to 8 or 9 sacks, in that range. You need someone just in there, like a dude that can just produce a little bit, just like Za'Darius can do. And can you get that in the draft? You're not guaranteed it. It's more likely for a first round draft pick not to go out there and get you that than that is for him to do that. So,
I mean, it is crazy to think the only player that's ever gotten that besides Hutch is James Houston.
Yes, and he's now no longer on your team.
Think about that. James Houston's the only player to get you. What did James Houston have? 8 sacks, 7 sacks?
Yeah. Besides
that, it'd be Za'Darius. So it's I don't think it's crazy to ask for that. A lot of teams have that. It's just I don't know. It was
just weird. If you go look at last year's sack numbers, you have 12 guys with 1 sack, 15 guys with 1.5 sacks, 1 sack. It just doesn't, to me. And then you compare it to the Eagles, who are just 9, 8, 6, 7, 5.5, 4, 6. It's hey, you need more production from some other guys. And if they're not going to give it to you, guess what? Well, I don't do my job. I don't have one. And it's, hey, if you're not doing your job, you're just going to keep getting re-signed to a contract over and over and over until it's hey, we love the guys in our building. No, go get me a Matt Judon. Go get me people hate Von Miller. Go find me someone who we know at least produces. We'll get you 5 sacks. That's where I'm frustrated with the free agency, to be honest.
Yeah, and you have Aleem coming off a major injury, which I think he'll be fine, especially in 2025. ACL injuries aren't really as bad as they used to be. But still, he's coming back from a pretty major injury. Hutch is coming back from a major injury. Okay, and you're gonna put all your faith in those two just leading your team in sacks. Like I think there should be a little more help besides a rookie, but that's just me. I think ideally the Lions and what they told us, and I said this on the stream too, they don't like throwing a rookie out there in the fire right away. It's not always what they do. Terran Arnold was a CB2, but still, like, he was kind of thrown out there in the fire. But typically they like having guys come along, and they like those guys come along. It would be ideal if you, I don't know, sign a veteran to a 1-year deal, like a Judon or a Za'Darius, and then you can have your rookie edge come along slowly, but still get out there this year. And then the next day or the next year, then you just let them go. It just, I don't know. It seems like that's always what the Lions kind of preach. So I'm a little confused, but
I'll say my worry, and I think it's the same as you. My worry is they brought back Davenport on that 1-year deal. They brought Levi back on the 1-year deal. They already have Josh. And then, they're looking at that as like, hey, that's our by committee. And then we'll draft and we'll roll with that. Like that's genuinely like a worry for me. I do. And I have not been pretty vocal over the last few years in very negative aspects of Brad Holmes, because I felt like he's done a pretty good job, and there hasn't been many spots on this team where you can go at Brad and say, hey, you messed this up. This is one of those things where I've been consistent over the last year or two, and this with the edge room. Like this is outside of Hutch, but not even the edge room, just defensive line in general. Like this has been a problem, and I just don't like the fact that like everything has been addressed. He's addressed weapons on offense, offensive line, quarterback, running back, receivers, safeties, corners. Like he addressed corners last year, linebackers. Every position group has been addressed, but some reason in the defensive line group, it's, hey, let's just keep running with the same guys. Let's keep rolling it back with the same guys. Let's just keep rolling it. Like, at what point in that room specifically do you say, hey, sorry, we have to make changes. We need production. I don't know. Like, that's where it baffles me a little bit.
Well, especially when Brad says that free agency's for needs. Like people, that's why I'm so confused with like
that was the number one need on this football team.
I'm just confused with like the inconsistency. Like it's like, okay, like people will say to me, Jeff, Brad doesn't draft for need in the draft. He signs for need. Okay, so I should expect an edge. Well, no, because he's going to draft an edge. But I thought I was told that he doesn't draft for need. He drafts best player available. Like, how do we know that the first round pick won't be Jahad Campbell? How do we know the first round pick won't be a different player? How do we know the first round pick won't be Kenneth Grant? Because he doesn't draft for need, I thought. Like it's like guys, like I'm getting confused. It's like inconsistent. It's like inconsistent with this thought process. Does he draft for need or doesn't he? You know what I mean? I don't know what's going on. If he signs, if free agency's for need, then we should expect an edge.
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy.
That's why it's so frustrating, I think, because he's done so good at every other position group. This is the one that, and it's like this is the one that he's been known to be able to kind of figure out. He's played this position. Like, this is supposed to be the position where it's like, this is Brad Holmes' baby, and he just has not figured it out. And outside of Aiden Hutchinson, who was a number 2 overall pick, and Aleem McNeil, like where. Even Aleem, like I've had the conversation about Aleem. It's like he's had injuries the last 2 years, major injuries, and even when he was healthy, like this last year, like everyone is sitting here projecting him to get 9 sacks, 8 sacks. Comes out of the year with 3 or 4 sacks, even without the injury. It's just like this is a position group where you're sitting there, and it's like it's actually mind-boggling that Brad hasn't been able to figure it out. Like, take Hutch and Aleem out of the picture. Where's a positive that's ever came from this D line outside of that? I would love for someone to name me one.
Yeah, and again,
that was a number 2 overall pick. I could have made that pick.
Yeah, and I like see this and I'll even say, and you know how me and you get into these arguments because we had the same thing with drafting Cade. Like I give guys credit for hitting those picks, but let's just play your game because you're making a good point. You're making a really good point. But because you're making a really good point. Like, let's say we take away, we credit him for Aiden and we credit him for Aleem. Like, I look at second round picks. I don't look at usually the late picks because it's like, okay, it happens. Like, Mekhi Wingo, I think will be pretty good, but we don't know that. I'm not going to be mad about James Houston. But like second round picks, Josh Paschal and Levi Onwuzurike, like Levi, I think's taking steps, but is he a second round pick? Is he worth that? I don't know. You know, we haven't seen.
I mean, those two guys you hope to be when you draft in the second round, like that's potential starter. Like you're looking at hey, we want to develop you into a starter on this defense. And I don't think either one, you're sitting there banging the table. Like you just signed Levi O to a 5-year deal or $5 million deal, prove it deal. You couldn't even give him more than 1 year because he hasn't been that good yet. And you're in
I'm ready.
4, year 5.
I don't think I'm ready for Davenport to start. I'm just not ready for that. Not ready.
I mean, I just don't trust it. Like again, if he's healthy, I'm fine with it. But I don't trust it. How many snaps do you get out of him this year?
Would Marcus Davenport start on any other contender?
If he's healthy, I think he would.
Like
I just don't think you can trust him to stay healthy. Like the Eagles, if they sign Marcus Davenport, Jeff, they're signing someone else because they know. Like that's like the thought process on it. That's like you have to know like there are tendencies of injuries, and you have to be able to.
That's where I get lost. It's like, would he start on
account?
Like that dude wouldn't start on the Eagles. Okay, he wouldn't.
Probably not.
You know what I mean? Or he wouldn't start on the Chiefs. Like they wouldn't trust him. So he would be depth. So I don't know. I have some clips here from DJ Reed's press conference. This is the bright side. This is awesome, man. Yeah,
Jeff,
great. He said he dropped some gems today.
I love this guy already.
He dropped some gems.
I tweeted it out. We might end up getting, if Terrion turns into that corner one where you're like, he was drafted in the first round for a reason. Again, that's hypothetical. And you have DJ Reed with a guy like Terrion who turns into a dude. You might have one of the best corner duos in the NFL. If it works out, you know what I mean? If they both hit.
Mm-hmm. Let's play the clip here. We got a clip of him talking about Terrion Arnold and just kind of discussing free agency. So we'll play both of them. So let's hear from DJ Reed, the new Lions corner.
Terrion enough to form an opinion of who he is as a player, maybe where he is, or what his potential is?
Absolutely. Well, he's still young, so it was his rookie year. I thought Terrion played well. Obviously, he was handsy, which that's something that you could correct. That's totally fixable. As far as talent, as far as being sticky, it was a reason why he was drafted in the first round. So he's going to be, very good in my opinion. I think he's a Pro Bowl, all-pro type of guy.
Terrion played right side last year. How do you go about sorting, where you guys kind of fit together? Is there something about playing one side that you like as a cornerback?
Yeah, that's a great question. I would say, when I was in Seattle, that was just the side that I played, and it kind of just stuck there. Same as when I was on the Jets. Sauce played the left, I played the right. Third down, sometimes Sauce would go to the boundary. Sometimes I would go to the field. Some games I would travel with, for example, when we played in Miami, some games I would travel with Tyreek. Other games, when we played, bigger receivers, Sauce would travel. It's kind of how our coaches were utilizing. I'm a football player, so if they want me to play on the left side, if they want me to play on the right side, either or I'm comfortable with doing.
I love that.
Yeah, I will say, I know we were kind of talking about the edge spot and Brad, but to give him credit, this is an excellent signing. DJ Reed is a really good signing. I don't think it's I'm not going to sit here and, I know fans do this. It's like you trash the play. Oh, he's way better than Carlton. It's a lateral signing. Carlton's really good. I think DJ Reed's really good. But I think DJ Reed, what he brings, I love his mentality. I've watched DJ in New York. I didn't watch him with Seattle or the 49ers, but I've watched him with New York. And I watched the Vikings game, actually, when Aaron Rodgers that game that was an ugly game, but the Jets and Vikings game. And DJ Reed, although Sauce steals the shine a lot because it's Sauce Gardner, I get that. DJ Reed is a very solid corner, very solid, very dependable. And his height, which we'll get into in a second here, I don't think is going to be. People are making too big of a deal of his height. It's a little ridiculous, in my opinion. He's a ball hawk. And not interceptions, but he gets his hands on a lot of balls. Yeah. But he does. Ooh. He does, though. Very active. And he guards ones. He guards twos. He can do it all, man. And he's not a guy, you don't hear him. He seems like now that he's signed with the Lions, it makes sense why they love him. Because he's a go-to-work guy. He gets it done. He plays in games. I mean, he doesn't really get hurt. To me, this is when we're talking about who they did sign, man, DJ Reed's a really good signing. Really good.
I think it's like you said, and again, this is no offense to Carlton or DJ Reed. I think it's a lateral signing where I think DJ Reed, Carlton, those guys were kind of at the top of free agency and corners. And I give Brad so much credit for going into free agency and getting one of the top corners, like knowing like, hey, if Carlton falls through, we need to get someone, and him going out there and pursuing DJ Reed. And DJ Reed, he even said at the beginning of his press conference, hey, it was between the Lions and the Commanders. The Commanders, a team that you just lost to, and DJ Reed being like, I want to go to Detroit. Like, I want to go there. And he mentioned it. Like, there are just a bunch of dogs on this team, and that's what he wants to play with. He wants to play with a bunch of dudes who want to be great and who want to win a Super Bowl. And that's what I like about DJ Reed, man. Like, it's a lateral signing, Jeff, but you hope, and this is where my mind goes a little bit. Like we said it earlier, like you hope Terrion turns into that corner one over this next year. And it sounds like DJ is like coming in to help, like, what's the word I'm looking to? Like mold him into that corner
help
one.
him flourish.
Yes. So like he's coming in to do that. Excuse me. Just keep losing my voice. This is brutal. And when you have a guy like Terrion take a step up, that's when it's like, okay, that lateral signing, that's all you needed to do, because your corner room just took a big step forward because Terrion's in year 2 and getting better, and you still have an elite corner on the other side of Terrion that's playing for the next 3 years too. It's not like it's a 1-year deal like Carlton was. This is a 3-year deal to where the next 3 seasons you have DJ Reed and Terrion Arnold in that defense. And as they just keep playing together and getting better and better, and a Meek you still have, I think this is like a no-brainer. This is a great. And I love Jeff. This guy is just I told you before the show, we were chatting it up before we started. He's like, I don't care. He said he obviously wanted to get paid. He was like, I really just want to get paid for my family. I don't care about money. He's like, that means nothing to me. He was like, I'm good. Like I can live off nothing. He's like, I'm good to go. I just want a Lombardi trophy. He's like, that's all I need in my career. I just want a Lombardi. And to have a guy coming into the building like that, that's not worried about his personal accolades, isn't worried about the money. He literally is just brain focused on winning a Lombardi trophy. That's exactly what you want. And you know who's a fan of him? John Brown, Amon-Ra St. Brown's dad. They mentioned that.
Really?
Yeah, on the podcast. His brother EQ said he trained with DJ Reed in Anaheim or something in Cali, and EQ was like to Amon-Ra, he's like, hey, Pops loves him. Like, and I guess EQ said that the reason he likes him is because he just means business. Like, he shows up ready. Like, he is a pro's pro. Like, all he thinks about is football. He makes sure he's prepared. Film when he's on the field, he steps in and he's ready to go. Like, he is a pro's pro. And he was like, Pops loves him. When I heard that,
yeah, it's
I was all in.
Well, you got the John Brown stamp of approval. I don't have a problem with guys wanting their money. It's just I have to bring this up because it's interesting that Carlton was all about getting paid.
Yeah,
and then DJ Reed got paid, but now he's like, I want to win a Super Bowl. Like, you see where his priorities are, and I think DJ Reed's going to be really good for the Lions. I do. Like I said, when I mean lateral, I think that's a really good thing because it's easy to downgrade. It would be easy to sign someone that's not as good as Carlton or DJ Reed. And it's like, well, we downgraded. And the height thing, like, they have Terrion Arnold's he's a good size. He has good size on him. You have Ennis Rakestraw. He has good size on him. I mean, who knows? They might draft another corner or sign another corner at some point that has pretty good size on him as well. Like, he's not going to be, and they have a Meek who's pretty versatile. He can play on the outside. So they have some guys there. Like, yeah, you have 2 guys that are 5'9", but 2 guys that are does it stop a Meek Robertson at 5'9" from playing really well? No, it doesn't. I'm not too worried about that. Yeah, you expect Terrion Arnold, though, to your point, to take a step, and there is pressure on him. Like this year, I think for corners, it's the hardest position to play besides quarterback. I will admit that. It's very hard. You have to do this. You have to mimic movements of world-class athletes backwards. You know what I mean? That's pretty much what you have to do. But after a year, I think that's enough time to see what you have in a corner. Like, I think Terrion Arnold, and he would even admit this, like, the excuses are running out a little bit. We can't sit here and be like, well, he's still a young corner. Like, this year, you expect those strides to be taken. So
yeah, the thing that's positive with Terrion with that, Jeff, though, is that, like, from week 1 to week 17, he made those steps. right? And he
Yeah,
got thrown into the fire at the end too, and he wasn't bad. He was actually like, you're like,
well,
okay,
he didn't
this
have a
guy's getting
defensive
better.
line either. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why probably I've been pushing for a better one as much as I have, because you want to set him up for success too. Like, look at DJ Reed with the Jets. Like, the Jets had dudes that got after the quarterback. They had multiple guys with 5-6 sacks. I mean, they had guys everywhere that got after the quarterback, and it made Sauce's job and DJ Reed's job easier. Like, you want to make these guys, you want to make their jobs easier. You just do, and then you'll make everyone else better. You'll make Kirby Joseph better, because now you have quarterbacks that are forcing the ball out, making, bad decisions, and you have guys that can capitalize on those decisions. Like, it all starts up front. So, yeah, like, not to go back to the edge thing, but that's why we're pushing for more pass rushers. It's
Ahmed Ross said it. When you have a pass rush, you don't need it.
Yeah.
You don't need corners.
You just want to put these guys in positions to succeed. But let's play this other clip here from DJ Reed.
I met him and Aiden, and it was just good vibes, great energy. This whole day has been great vibes and great energy. And he's a dog. Like, when you watch film, he's just a dog. You could tell he plays with passion. Something that you really can't teach. It's either you got it or you don't, and he definitely has that. For me, like, the prototypical stuff, I kind of laugh at it now because, you know what I'm saying, it's 3 contracts later, and people still want to talk about if I could play on the outside. And it's like, I've been dominating on the outside ever since I got my shot, which was in Seattle. So for me, it's more so about focusing on my process, and I feel like the results are going to speak for themselves.
Yeah, there you go. I saw a comment here I want to bring up that I kind of missed out on. I don't know if I can find it now, but there you go. Tyler, if DJ Reed wasn't on the Jets, he'd have most likely already been a CB1 on many squads. He's nasty physically, has good burst speed to make a play, especially on routes where the wide receivers aren't catching in stride. So, yeah, I mean,
at the end there, like, him talking about his size, he's like, dude, I don't care. I'm on my 3rd contract right now, and every contract that I've had, people are bringing up how small I am and my size, and can I play that? And he's like, listen, go watch my film. I've played on the outside at a high level. I've been able to move around. I've been able to go up against guys like Justin Jefferson. He's like, at what point does that criticism end? That's where I get a little bit more confident having him come in here. And when we bring him up, Jeff, people are like, with the comments, 5'8", 5'9". He's it's like, okay. Is he good? Yeah, dude can play. And I think that's all that matters. I don't think the size at that point matters, as long as he's doing his job, right? He's getting it done. And you still have Terry. Like, that's where I think this whole thing kind of intertwines together.
Yeah, I mean, he talked about too the Washington thing, which, by the way, I've seen all over Twitter, and I don't know if people actually spend time like going through these the Twitter. You get into these parts of Twitter where you know just
crazy.
Randomly, it's like the Commanders Twitter. They're all talking like, oh yeah, like, go to Detroit. Like, they're all butthurt coping right now because DJ Reed didn't choose them. It's like, they're like, oh, he went to Detroit to choose. I by the way, I don't know if this is how Lions fans were looked at after the NFC Championship appearance, where we were like talking crap and everyone just hated us. But that's what it feels right now with the Commanders. It just feels like these fans are just, and they'll screenshot and put the results of the playoff game in there. It's like, I hope the Lions face the Commanders again in the playoffs. I really do. It's like, oh my gosh.
Me too. And I hope it's like healthy.
So much trash, man. They
with
are.
Hutch and with guys that are healthy, and David Montgomery fully healthy, and Ellie McNeil in there, and you have DJ Reed and Terrion. Like, at that point, it's okay, here we go. That's where I think things change a little bit next year.
Yeah, I mean, I think for the rest of the free agency period here, is there any? I mean, Tim Patrick, did you see what he put out there? That he wants to return to the Lions. So
I don't know why he'd put that out if he's not. Listen, if I'm his agent,
Timmy P,
unless there's a deal already done, why would you put that out there? That's where I thought when he put that out, I was like, oh, next couple hours, the deal's going to be. I'm going to get no alert across my phone, Jeff. Got nothing. No one. I've heard nothing. I was shocked.
I mean, Timmy P wants to return. So
you lose all contract negotiations once you put that out there. Brad, as soon as he saw that, he canceled the current contract and said, "Hey, instead of $4 million, we'll give you $2 million. Cut it right in half."
It's not going to be a lot. It really won't. I think that Timmy P contract gets announced sooner than later. I think you could see Timmy P over the weekend. I'll say that right now, or tomorrow.
Right,
I think Timmy P is a Lion. I think it's if you're going to put something out like that, he's pretty confident he's returning. You know what I mean? I think it was like he put out something. It was like a shirt or something. It's like, I just want to return. All I want is there be a Lion or something like that, or I just want to play for the Lions, something like that. But it's
I could be wrong. Zadarius Smith a month ago or 3 weeks ago he went out and bought a Detroit Lions ring, fake Super Bowl ring, and said the ring before the ring. And it had it was a Detroit Lions logo. And guess what? He gets opted out, and they don't bring him back. So I'm not saying Tim Patrick isn't. If Jeff, they've already brought some guys back. If he
come on,
why wasn't he signed already then? You want to know why? Keenan Allen.
Because Brad doesn't want pass rushers. Oh no, you want Keenan Allen?
He's looking around.
Keenan Allen. I mean,
he would have been signed already. Tim Patrick would have already had a deal done.
Keenan Allen.
You don't think that's a good signing? If Keenan Allen, bro, that's a great signing. Steve Wilds, Allen is worse than TP. That's wrong. Allen had 700 plus yards last year, and he had like 3 touchdowns on the Detroit Lions alone.
But okay, see, we're getting into names here. You know what I mean?
Not names. He has production.
Yeah, but
this is where
so
talent
what are you gonna go from top 5 to top 4?
Talent level. I'm talking about talent, Jeff. This is that argument I had yesterday. When you have a guy that's more
How
talented,
much do you think you would sign Keenan Allen for?
I don't think Keenan's going to ask for a lot of money. I don't think he can. $6 million.
I'd be so mad if you paid $6 million.
Mike Belucci, Keenan plays the slot though. They'll figure it out.
See, no, yeah, Boone. This is Cooper Kupp all over.
They'll figure it out. I don't care, man. You figure it out. If you can upgrade in talent, you figure it out. Again, you think the Eagles would just turn Keenan Allen down? No, Howie Roseman's going. Yep, here we go. Run it up.
No.
People love Tim Patrick. I like Tim Patrick. I'll be pumped up if he resigns. People are like, Tim Patrick's the best of all time. I've noticed. It's genuinely a little
because that's all you need. You just need a guy that's, big, run blocker, he doesn't drop any passes.
I would just like, hey, if you could upgrade that position, like we talk about upgrading all the time, right? Like that's a position where Tim's not the best in the league at his spot. You can upgrade.
Yeah, but when you talk about the money, right? Can we put the money to a guard or a defensive end?
Yes, but I see at that point I don't care because there's so much money this year. Like he's going to sign for a 1-year deal, so it's not going to matter on future contracts. It's a 1-year deal.
So do you think Keenan Allen signs for $6 million?
I don't know what he'll sign for, but I'm just saying. Listen,
$6 million.
I'm not saying this is going to happen. People are like, Booner, stop. This is just why has Tim Patrick not signed the papers yet? Brad might be looking around. That's all.
I'll take Timmy P at like $4 million.
He's not getting $4 million. If he got $4 million, I would be shocked.
So even then yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't like $4 million, I would say.
I'll take Timmy P at 2 then.
All right. Fair. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And make sure you better draft someone because I want to upgrade at that position. I'm not happy with I'm happy Tim Patrick's been solid for some games, but you can upgrade.
I'll take Timmy P at a $2 million.
What's the weakest what's the weakest position on this offense? Outside of guard.
We can't do. I mean,
I'm asking.
I might say I'm gonna be honest with
Robert
you.
Tim Patrick.
No, I would say left tackle. If I'm being honest.
All right, let's take all. Okay, yeah, okay.
It's offensive line, dude.
Yeah, that's a problem. Yeah,
you're just wide receiver 3. I mean,
I've been on this since last year with DPJ, and I ended up being right about DPJ. And I loved Tim. That Tim came in and did what he did. I was one of the most happiest guys out there because of it.
Yeah, I was. You should be pounding. Then you found an answer.
But I saw how important that position is. That out wide guy, that third weapon for Jared Goff. Realized how important it was. Imagine if you had a guy like Tim Patrick. Tim Patrick was a guy who was like every couple games he had a couple catches here and there that were big catches. If you get a guy that's like every single time he's a threat and you have to be worried about him and he's at that level, and then you have Amon-Ra and you have J-Mo.
Yeah.
That's where it's like, all right, this offense changes a little bit. It does. Jeff, it does.
It's like
Jane Higgins.
Yeah,
Throw
now we're
him in
talking.
there. Oh my
Now we're talking.
gosh, this offense is
Now we're talking.
the best in
You
the
draft
NFL.
that guy. You could go draft Pat Bryant. Go draft a big body. All right. Then
Matt
you
said Keenan is a fatty. Let's go. That's not nice. That's not nice. We're nice here.
Wait, who said that? Oh, you're
Sebastian.
Sebastian.
We're nice around here. Come on
Yeah,
now.
Allen is a fatty. Well,
That's funny though.
yeah. You know what? The Chargers
hilarious.
just brought back Mike Williams. Watch them bring back Keenan Allen. What if they
They
just bring
wouldn't.
back both
No.
receivers?
I don't think they have a spot available for him, to be honest.
No, he should go to like, you know what, Keenan Allen, go to
I don't think he's as bad as people thought. I think he was just on
go
the
to the
Bears.
Patriots. Or Patriots. Well,
Yeah,
Patriots.
it's not a bad
okay.
spot, to be honest.
Or the Packers.
Commanders too. No, they just got Debo.
But there's other spots, Robo says John Morton likes to throw the deep ball. Robo. Johnny Moe might let that thing go. Timmy P. We'll see. I think, like I said, I think Timmy P gets announced, and then hopefully, maybe, I'm holding out hope, but maybe you get an edge too. I don't know. I'm going to keep saying it. I'm going to keep speaking into somewhat existence.
I don't see a world you don't, man. I really don't. Like, why wouldn't you just go say, hey, give me Von Miller, man? Go give me. Hey, I know they're old, and I hate the old people.
If you had to pick one, if I told you Dante Fowler, Zadarius, Matthew Judon, and Von Miller, those four. Who would
Zadarius Smith. Zadarius Smith.
Yeah.
I think he's the best out of it. Dante had 10, but again, Dante Fowler is one of those guys where it's like he had that big year in Washington, but it's like, do you think he can do it again? That's where I think you were the one that brought that up to me. That's where it gets a little interesting.
Yeah, he's a little up and down.
Yeah.
Zadarius is pretty consistent.
You know what you're going to get. You're going to get
plays,
7 to 8 sacks.
The thing I love is he's like he is literally the opposite of Marcus Davenport. Like he plays in every game. He's played in 17 games the last like 3 years. Zadarius Smith.
You can trust him to be on the field.
He'll be on the field. He gets you 8-9 sacks. It's just like he is really like the perfect fit. He really is. I'm not saying Zadarius is like, I know when I keep bringing him up, like I'm not trying to say this guy's like a top 10 edge rusher, but man, like to be an edge rush, to be a DN2, he's perfect. He really is. He's a perfect fit. So I'm curious. I'm curious what happens here for the rest of free agency. I mean, you still got some time, and you know how it is. Like before the season, there's cuts. Like they have a lot of time, but man, free agency.
They do. Someone brought it up too. I can't remember who it was. It was someone on like ESPN. It was like it was a former player who just said, "Hey, after the first like round of these players, the first 2 or 3 days, that's when you start to see, hey, for like those are players who knew what their market was. Boom. The second round are going to come within the next week or so, and those are players who didn't like what their market was, and now they're having to negotiate, and it takes days, sometimes weeks." To sit there and negotiate, and you want to see, hey, maybe you want to wait for a certain domino to fall so you can get the contract that you want or something. So I think it's just a waiting game at this point. I really, Jeff, I'm with you. I hopefully this gives you confidence. I don't think there's a world that we get out of free agency where Brad doesn't sign another edge. I really don't.
Did you see the Trey Hendrickson stuff?
Yeah.
I have here. I want to pull this up because
that was
Diana
weird.
Rossini put it out, but there are teams that are willing to pay for Trey Hendrickson, like pay the contract, like they're willing to pay him. But what they're not willing to do is give him exactly what he wants. And this is what Diana Rossini put it out. Teams are willing to pay Trey Hendrickson the contract that he desires, but have found Cincinnati's current asking price to be ridiculous, as one GM told me. The Bengals can adjust as the offseason progresses, but right now teams aren't willing to meet their terms. So they must be asking for that first round pick.
Yeah, that's the report yesterday. I think it might have been Jordan Schultz that put out their first round pick is what they're asking for. So originally it was like a 3rd, 4th round pick. Like I don't think it was something crazy, and now it's a first with the contract. That's insane.
Yeah, I mean Trey. I mean shit.
Jeff,
he's worth the 28 pick, but yeah, you got.
I said yesterday, how many teams around the NFL have 2 top 10 edge rushers in like have ever had that. Like, not really any. Like, we've never seen that.
Yeah,
before.
it's hard because the Lions, like they have a lot of good players on their defense that you're gonna have to pay, and like guys that I want to keep around.
Yep.
Trey Hendrickson, if you sign him, I mean, he's going to be a $30+ million guy, and then Hutch is going to be a $40 million guy. Like that, you got $70 million into 2 players. Like, okay, you let Kirby go. There's a guy that gets you 9 interceptions a year. Like, it's just not.
But Jeff,
it's not realistic. But Trey Hendrickson, it doesn't. I mean, the guy's a beast. He really is.
I wonder.
So
they say there's teams that are out there talking, right? I don't know how many teams they said. It sounded like I thought I saw a tweet that there was 5+ teams. You know, there's actually a lot of teams out there that are like, yep, I'm doing the deal. With Trey, I wonder if Brad's in those conversations. I really do. And I wonder if that's why Brad let Za'Darius go. What's that? About 11 million potentially. I wonder if that's why he, instead of going out and getting another $10 to $15 million edge, he said, let's save 10 more million and just get Levi O. And that's some more money. And then instead of maybe another 10 to or $15 million guy, hey, let's bring back Marcus Davenport. Hey, instead of a 18, 19 million with Carlton, let's save 2 or 3 mil with DJ. And like, you see him kind of cutting in certain spots, and then boom, he just saved 30 million throughout the next 2 years per year. And he's like, here we go.
Yeah, because Trey, I wonder what that money's going to look like. That's where I'm because
I think it's unrealistic, but
yeah, there's teams that have money that don't have a Hutch that they have to pay that could fit him into their cap. You know what I mean? That
for sure.
He will be someone's Hutch, like what they're going to pay him. The Lions, it's like, it's a pipe dream to expect the Lions to get this dude. You know what I mean? It just is.
I wonder if they'll give him an option of where he wants to go. Like if they end up figuring out a deal with some teams, if the Bengals go to him and say, hey.
Well, based on what the Bengals have done, they seem like a trashy organization. I doubt they even. I mean,
that GM, dude, I would have fired.
They're
him.
all ownership is cheap, and the GM is a clown too. I mean, like what they're doing to T. Higgins. Like,
man can find players. That's the one thing. But
if there's one team that offers them a first, and it's a team that Trey doesn't want to go to, they're taking that deal for sure.
Yeah.
So
Schiff got said they're holding Higgins hostage.
They are. Steve says Trey will be anywhere from 36 to 40 mil a year, 41 mil a year. I mean, he has every right to. I mean, 17 and a half sacks the last 2 years, man, is nothing to joke about.
For sure.
Dude can.
He should get almost as much as Myles Garrett, to be honest.
He should.
Right
he should be in that Max Crosby range. You know what I mean? Like 30-something million. Like, no doubt he should be. I mean, he's only got a couple good years left in him, I would say.
So little off topic, because I saw the hostage thing. You see what's happened with Kirk Cousins?
No.
He met with the ownership and told him, like, hey, I want to, like, obviously Kirk Cousins in his 30s. Like, he only has a couple years left of, like, where he can play football. And you're like the Achilles. They said, like, after your first year after an Achilles, you know, it's tough to come back from. But then after your first year, you start becoming you again, to where he's like, he went to the ownership, I can't remember the owner's name, and Arthur Blank, I think it is. And he said, hey, like, I want to be a starting quarterback in the league still. Like, I've gone through this whole year of progression. Like, I feel like I'm good to go. I want to, like, can you get me on a different team? And Arthur Blank's like, we're going to do what's best for this. They're like considering keeping him for another year as their backup. It's an actual consideration. And he like went to them and was like, hey, like, I want out. I want to go to a team and be a starting quarterback. Because he could, I do think Kirk, like, another year into the injury, rehab, like, he was never a bad quarterback. This last year, you could just tell, like, that. Remember that back foot, that plant foot? He just couldn't put pressure on it.
So bad this year, but like, yeah, to your point, it could be coming off that Achilles.
Because look at Aaron Rodgers, like, he was out year one after it as well, and everything I've listened and read up on, it said it's that first year after you struggle, but then you can get back into things after that first year. You just got to get used to it.
The place he used to play, Minnesota, they were going all in on JJ. It was confirmed. No Aaron Rodgers. They're going to sign a backup. So they're not signing anyone.
I was looking for that. Where is that? Who reported that?
That was I saw it on ESPN. I have to go find out where it is, but.
Because I saw, and you laugh at this, dude. I saw a fake Twitter account. I thought it was real, and it was a fake account of their GM. and their I don't know if you've seen this, but their GM, someone has a fake account that it literally looks just like their GM, and he tweeted out and says, "We don't want Aaron Rodgers here." It was so funny, dude.
Oh, really?
I'm pulling up.
Yeah, it looks like it's JJ. It's now it's the year of JJ McCarthy. Mm-hmm.
Right here, bro. Let me share this. Dude, this is crazy. And now that I look at it, the @ literally says not Kwesi Adolfo. But I don't think it said that before.
Let me see.
I think whoever runs this account, I think he switched it. I think he might have got caught up and switched it.
We will not be signing quarterback Aaron Rodgers.
Because I saw that, and then I clicked on his profile, and I was like, it says Vikings general manager, and I was like, major in economics. I didn't see that. Yeah, I got fooled. That's on me.
Yeah, I love. Sometimes Twitter's the best, dude.
It's a tough look for me.
Yeah, some fake ass Kwesi account. Yeah, I mean, Aaron Rodgers to Minnesota seemed like it made the most sense. I don't know, but now it's like, okay, now it's JJ's time now.
He's going to Pittsburgh.
About to find out if he's ass or not. That's what you're gonna find out at JJ this year.
Nah, Aaron Rodgers is a Pittsburgh Steeler, man.
Yeah, that's what it seems like at this point. You know what? Let's just do it. I want to do our mock draft. You want to get to that?
Let's do a live one.
Yeah,
and two, I told the people, and I could check our Twitter. If you guys want, because I was thinking about, I want to do some listener mock drafts and put some up on there. The only problem was what happened is that new pick got added in 102 within the last 48 hours. So all the mock drafts we have, listener mock drafts in our messages, they don't have that. So if anyone, while you're watching us and doing this, if you want to go do a mock draft, maybe we can get 3 or 4 or 5 of them and send it to us over the next 20, 30 minutes. And when we do some listener ones, we can.
Yeah, send us. I got one. I got a couple sent to me on Twitter, but if you send them to our actual official CT pod account on Twitter, we'll bring them
I did just
up.
get an updated one here from Scotty B.
Okay, good. Yeah, well, we can do that. We can do that live one now. We can knock this out because we got 7 rounds, so we can see how we can cook here. The people can kind of weigh in on what they want, but there is that new pick, right?
Yeah, there is 102. Yep, 101 actually. I don't know why it's 101. It should be 102, right?
I have no idea. I know they have 102, the Titans, I guess, but I don't know why they have 101.
Maybe we already made a trade.
All right, so we'll see how this goes.
Did you start it already?
I did.
I was gonna say let's trade up.
You want to do a trade up again, or you just want to stick with no trades? You want to do a trade up?
It's up to you. What do you guys think?
Well, because we traded up we did a mock the other day. We traded up. We can trade up in this one too. It don't matter. Here, let's do it.
Trade in front of Atlanta, or not even Atlanta. I mean the Seahawks. Trade with the Broncos.
Imagine the Giants take frickin' Membu. They take a tackle.
I mean, if you don't like it, to be honest, I was thinking that with them. If you don't like a quarterback, you might as well just keep building that offensive line until you can get next year Arch Manning, and then you have an all line built for Arch. Who's off the board? So Jihad's off the board. See, I would have liked to trade up for him.
Yeah, so Jihad, Shamar Stewart, Mike Green. Why the Raiders take Tyler Warren? What are we doing? That's not why would they do that?
I heard Mel Kiper say.
Yeah, everyone's saying trade up. We could trade up. Want to trade up here? Let's see who's available.
Yeah, let's see who's willing to trade. I don't know if we could trade up this far. I feel like this far. I feel like I don't feel like Brad will go that far.
So we have Atlanta, Arizona, the Bengals.
What players are available right now?
It doesn't let me see the players.
You go to the right side?
This is your picks.
No, to where it says offer trade. Can you scroll up over there? Oh, that's tough.
Yeah, no. So off the top of my head, I know Pierce is up. They got Mike Green off the board. Josh Simmons is available. Like, there's some good players. Shamar Stewart went to the Bears.
All right. Let's see if we can trade with the Falcons.
All right, let's see. Falcons.
15 for 28. What do we do? Give up a third for next year?
I mean, realistically, we probably have to give away like 101 and then something else. I don't see how we would. Yeah.
Instead of 101, what if you did a third round next year? What would the percent change to that?
Nothing.
What about the third, and then maybe like 197 from Tampa?
Yeah, nothing.
Oh, man.
I'm telling you, see, if Brad did, I think when they traded up for JMO, they offered like their third or something like that.
I don't like that.
Probably be like a second next year.
Yeah.
There you go. All right.
All right.
So we're at pick 15. So we got Kenneth Grant, Uzuraku, James Pierce, Jade Barron, T-Mac still there. Josh Simmons.
This is where, and I'm just gonna. This is bias, but I would probably go James Pierce or Uzuraku.
Yeah, you probably should. We probably should just rock with Pierce here.
I would go with one of those two.
All right, we'll take James Pierce.
There we go. Uzuraku went 18. Every single mock, Jeff, that I've been seeing, Uzuraku's been going in the top 20. Every single time now. People love
59,
him.
Jack Sawyer went to the Ravens. JT went to the Houston, both Ohio State edges. 60, you're at pick 60. So we have Jared Ivy's here, Omar, Norman Lott, Kyle Kennard. There's some good edges. Shamar Turner.
Oh, I hate that.
Jordan Birch. Ooh.
I don't hate the Shamar Turner or wait. Oh, Shamar Turner. I thought Shamar Stewart again. I almost did it again.
Yeah, you almost fell.
Almost did it again. Oh man.
Yeah, I mean Jordan Birch is here. Josiah Stewart.
Who do you think's better?
I mean,
people love Jordan Birch, man. People love him. I
mean,
I think
Jordan
he's
Birch,
good,
Birch
but
is a freak.
like, Klotz is dying on the hill that he's a top 10.
I don't mind
rusher in
Josiah
this class.
Stewart though either. Like I like Josiah
Me
Stewart.
either.
He's like a smaller. He's 6'1". He's kind of like he'd be kind of like a Sam guy, I guess.
People are saying Birch.
Birch.
Yeah, well, Shift God loves Jordan Birch. I think he's the one that's been like big on him. I guess I just haven't like really fallen in love with Jordan Birch yet. I think he's very solid, but I think people are putting him as like late first, early second. And I'm not there yet with him. I don't know what it is.
All right, we'll take Jordan Birch at 60 then. At 101. Oh my God! they got Dion Wall. I like Andrew Makuba a lot. I know that we'll see how that goes. I don't know if they'll take a safety at 101, but
you keep scrolling a little bit. Can you actually? What do you think about an offensive lineman here, Jeff?
Well, let's see.
Interior and tackle, either one.
Let's see. William and Mary.
Not doing that again.
Yeah.
Not falling for that one. Not gonna do it to me.
I wish your here he must have already went. Yeah.
I would like to restart this draft. I think we should have gone offensive line second round. We should have pulled the trigger on offensive lineman in the second round.
Yeah, there's some
I'm starting to think that's what's going to happen.
Offensive line in the second round?
At 60, yeah.
I mean, yeah, there's some like Jake Major. You don't have to take any of these guys yet.
No.
You can wait.
What about wide receiver? Is there anyone?
Isaiah Bond, he's still there. Torrey Horton's pretty good. He's like 6'3", yeah.
Probably still get Pat Bryant as well at some point.
Yeah, you could take Pat Bryant. Yeah, he's 150. Next pick would probably be Pat Bryant or like an offensive lineman because so right now it's like
Yeah, I think at 129 we could get Pat Bryant. If we
So
really
you probably
wanted
want an
to.
offensive lineman.
I want to know more about this William and Mary kid, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean he's
6'4", 300.
Yeah, I mean William and Mary. I mean he allowed 6 hurries.
Look at that PFF grade, 91.2, man.
Yeah, but, I mean look who he's facing. I mean
I
what the
know,
hell is
but
that?
I mean, dude,
What's the
come on.
spider logo? What is that?
The spider? That's Richmond. I can't see the other ones. Looks like Wolford,
Yeah.
Furman. I mean, that's crazy. A 91 PFF grade in a whole season is nuts, dude.
Jalen Rivers at
6'5",
Miami.
325.
Yeah.
I don't hate it. I don't hate that.
Yeah, I mean, a Johnny Cornelius. I don't know who the. Where'd he play at? He played right tackle. See, that's a little tricky, but
Yeah.
um,
Brad would take another Williams Mary guy.
he could be a guard though. That's what they were saying about him.
What about the kid? Is it from Florida at the top?
Jalen Rivers,
No,
Miami.
from Florida, Brandon. I don't hate Jalen Rivers. If we want Jalen
Brandon
Rivers here,
Crenshaw Dixon.
6'7", 320. There's your Geo. That's your.
He played left and right.
I like this.
Oh, he played both.
I like Brandon Crenshaw Dixon.
Yeah, streams only says please no Mary guys. Yeah, I mean,
What do we think? What's the chat think with this one?
I like his versatility. I like Brandon Crenshaw Dixon. I mean, he played left and right.
I like him. Big dude, 6'7".
Long, experienced. I mean,
Lacks the weight.
yeah.
Let's take him. That's
Take
a Brad
Crenshaw.
Holmes. That's
Let's
a Brad
take
Holmes
Crenshaw
reach guy.
Dixon. Why not? And then we'll take a wide receiver here, Pat
See what we
Bryant.
have. Oh, he's there. Take him. Bang. That's one of those ones we're in the draft room. We're like,
Yeah, he was
let's
there.
go.
Your boy
Tyler
Tyler
Shuck.
Shuck.
I'm in.
I mean, he's
Oh,
there.
I did a mock draft the other day, Jeff. You know who I took with this pick? And we don't have to do it. I'm not saying we're going to do it. I did see Jay Higgins. He was available when I did it. Took a running back. Taj Brooks.
Taj Brooks.
That's your DMont guy in a couple years.
Taj Brooks. What does
Get
the
familiar.
chat think about running back?
Get
Right.
familiar with Taj Brooks.
I mean, what is the chat? What are we thinking, chat? Are we taking a running back here? I like Jay Higgins, man. You ever see Jay Higgins?
Yeah, from Iowa.
I think the Lions spoke with him. Actually,
Yeah, I think they did it. I think they at the I think it was at the combine. A lot of people were asking him about playing with Jack and those guys. I think he's an Iowa kid, correct?
Yeah, he's Iowa, man.
Anakin said we have Sonic. Hey, you won't have Sonic forever, Anakin. Break
Jay
that
Higgins might be a dog, man.
Any
Let me
safeties? Dean
Yeah,
Clark.
Let me see this. Oh, they don't have the summary on him, but look at the coverage grade. Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, I don't hate Jay Higgins.
He
Someone
got
said safety. Tyler said safety depth.
yeah, safety. Let's see. Oh, Malachi. You could take
And get him late into the next.
probably
pick.
get him next pick, yeah. Take Shiloh Sanders.
Oh no.
Miles Frazier. You could take a guard here.
Could go back to back O line. Like I wouldn't hate it. Cam Majors
he-
is there.
He's
I would not
played
hate.
literally everywhere.
I would not hate Miles Frazier.
Yeah, I mean, you could offensive lineman or linebacker. How are you feeling? Is the linebacker Smail Munden available? Yes, I like him too, man. I think he'll be available later, though. That's this guy.
You know what we should do? What picks do we have left?
We have 197, 230, 246.
So let's do. I have a plan. Do you want my plan? We're in the draft room right now in the war room talking this out. We go offensive line here, and then we back it up and we go linebacker. No, we go safety, and then at 246 we go linebacker. Oh no. At 246, the kid that you just pulled up will be available. I think we go Miles Frazier here. And then we hit either safety or linebacker here, whatever one, like Malachi Moore, and then you turn it around with that linebacker at 246.
Yeah, because I think Jay.
I think that's a draft. We might have to run this back. We might have to go offensive line in the first 2 rounds to get a feel for this one.
I kind of like this draft.
I don't hate it at all. So small. Oh, there it is. Oh, there we go.
Here, let's see. Let me.
I like this draft.
I mean, Brandon Crenshaw Dixon. That was probably that's like the Broderick Martin. That's the Broderick Martin pick. Everyone's like, what?
Hey, we were getting in the mind though of Brad Holmes. You know, we were trying to imitate what he would do. That's all we were doing. Mike Reed said should have took Jake Majors. I like Jake Majors.
I love Jake Majors, man.
I took him in a mock draft a couple weeks back.
By the way, shout out Mike Reed. Appreciate that. Appreciate the membership, man. 10 months now for Mike Reed. That's huge. But here's our thing. Here's the entire thing. I mean, we got James Pierce, Jordan Birch. We got a tackle, Pat Bryant, Miles Frazier, Malachi Moore, and Smell Munden Jr.
I need to watch Smell Munden Jr. I'm not familiar with his game. I don't know about you, but
he's good. He's like I don't think he's going to be a 7th round pick. He's probably earlier than that, but still in this, you get him in the 7th. So you got an A- on it. But still,
excuse me.
I don't look at the grades because I mean
they're always off, dude.
If Brad took Jack Campbell and PFF, they would give him a freaking F at 18.
Yeah.
So I don't really care about any of that.
PFF is just. I mean, you could have the best pick available. Like, and you're.
I've never heard of Brandon Crenshaw Dixon.
Me neither.
I've never heard of him. So I gotta lock in for who that is.
That's why I like doing these mocks. So you get to figure out some of these guys, and
we might have just drafted the next Trent Williams.
Anakin just asked. He said, "When are you guys viewing fan mocks next after today?" Oh, I thought. Okay, I'm not sure after today. Well,
we're doing it today. So send in your mocks.
I think we've only gotten one from today. So if people want to send some in the next couple minutes, should we do another draft, or I mean, should we run this back and go offensive line in the first 2 rounds and get a feel for this thing?
Yeah, and then we'll jump to fans because I got some mocks here I can throw in.
Do you have a couple? Someone just sent. If you're logged into Crunch Time on your computer, someone just sent one.
Let me see. Let me pull this out. Yeah, I'll just before I log out of my account. I got a couple. By the way, I'm gonna miss some. So if I don't pull yours up, just send them to our main account. I just see Doc DMing us on Twitter. We haven't responded to like any of his DMs.
Oh, were you here yesterday when I said the last Doc? Oh, you weren't, I don't think. He DM'd us one of the funniest things of all time. He just said, "Thanks for the shout out on signing. Keep up side hustle. You guys recording some good stuff." Like he doesn't know who we are. It was like I don't know if he thought we were like a random account or something.
Yeah, I don't. Oh, the Brad Holmes tendency chart.
I didn't see that.
Spirit, man, he cooked. I just saw that in our thing. All right, Joseph Lane. I guess I got this too. So I got a couple.
Oh, breaking news. Detroit Lions. Pull it up right here. I'm going to pull it up, Jeff. If you want to talk about it, I'm going to tweet it out for the people real quick. I just pulled it up to the thing there. All you have to do is share. Ready? The Detroit Lions have agreed to terms with veteran quarterback Kyle Allen. Sources say following a season with the Steelers, Allen joins Detroit Lions quarterback room behind Jared Goff. Not good news for your guy.
This is basically like, I mean, Nate Sudfeld, I guess. I mean, not as bad, but this is like they always roll with 3 QBs for some reason. I don't know. So, because they had Teddy Bridgewater at the end of the year, now they get Kyle Allen. Kyle Allen's a good backup. You know, he's fine. He's fine. This does really nothing for me. I don't know. Pretty sure Kyle Allen, if I remember correctly. Let me see. I've seen like Kyle Allen was with a bunch of teams. He was with the Bills.
Yeah, he was with the Bills behind Josh Allen.
Yeah, he hasn't taken a snap, and I mean he took a snap last year
For the Steelers.
Yeah.
I wonder how long this deal is real quick. I'm going to stop sharing. I just want to see if there's any other if it's like I'm guessing a 1-year deal is my guess.
Yeah. Yeah, this is to me just kind of like just a body. I don't really know. I mean, I don't know. He's just a body in the quarterback room. Maybe he can beat out Hendon Hooker.
That's where I'm trying to figure out.
It's not like they signed Gardner Minshew, where it's like, oh yeah, this guy's definitively better. Like Kyle Allen's like, he's all right. He's not like, he almost has as many picks as he does touchdowns in his career. Like he's not like, he's not Tim Boyle bad, but he's a backup.
I think it's just more so, honestly, and I'm putting it in my tweet. I think it's just more so for depth behind Goff, like in the room. I don't think it's like
they do this every offseason. They have 3 quarterbacks on the roster, and then they end up going into the season with 3. But you know how they are. They had Sudfeld, then they cut him. They'll probably have Kyle Allen. He'll compete. We'll see what happens. Maybe they cut him. Was Kyle Allen with is there a connection? Has he been with No, he hasn't. I was gonna say, maybe has he been with like John Morton? But he has not been with John Morton. So I don't know. He's just, like U of M dad, Jake Fromm replacement maybe. I don't know. Oh, that's what they brought in, Jake Fromm last year. See, they always bring in these extra guys. That's basically what Kyle Allen is. When you said breaking news, I thought something happened, and then Kyle Allen popped up on my screen. So
that's on me. That's on me. I mean, I had to though. Like that. Literally, I just pull up my Twitter and it's like news, and I'm like, oh, wait a second, it's Kyle Allen. I'm familiar with his name or his game because of Josh Allen. You know, I am. I know a little bit about Kyle Allen now. Come on.
Yeah,
now.
I mean, let's see. I'm getting all these fan mocks ready. There's a bunch.
Do you have some already?
Yeah.
I'm pumped up. I'm excited to see. Are they like newer ones, or are they ones from before they got this pick added?
Let's see. There are like a couple of them are just before, but that's okay. They're still like the main picks.
No, I love that. Here we go. Pumped up. I'm excited to see what people think. I wonder how much the draft strategy changes now that you look at and you see. Oh, wow. Oh, never mind. Sorry, I just saw it's another alert. Now that you see that Zeitler's not returning and that Brad hasn't signed an edge rusher anymore, I wonder, like, hey, where does people's mindsets change when it comes draft time?
All right, let me see here. Timmy P coming soon. Anakin says me, but hey.
Are you pulling them up or?
Yeah, I got them. I've got put them in my browser. And I don't know all the names for all these, so because I'm just throwing them out. So if you recognize yours, say it's yours. All right. For the first one, it was I think it's Matt. It's Matt's. His name is Matt. Shout out to Matt. But he took a photo of his. But here, this is his mock draft. So he has Nick Scorton in the first round.
Traded up or traded back?
No, it looks like he traded back 33
to 33.
Yeah, he traded back, got Nick Scorton. He also got another third round pick. Nick Scorton, Jared Ivey, Mason Taylor, tight end LSU, got Jared Wilson, Willie Lampkin, another guard. Dante Thornton Jr., safety RJ Mickens, and then guards. So 2 guards, a center in this draft. Dylan Fairchild, 2 Georgia guys too.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, I don't like the tight end that much.
Maybe the tight end at 67 is a little early. Is Mason Taylor like?
Not
I didn't
familiar.
watch Mason Taylor. Is he nice? Yeah.
I guess maybe. Not that familiar with Mason Taylor.
He's pretty good for LSU, I guess.
Lots of offensive line.
Yeah, I like this one overall. Maybe the tight end one would be the one. I'm not sure if they need a tight end, but still, Matt, you did a good job, man. There's a lot of guys on here. Edges are great. I mean, Nick Scorton and Jared Ivey, cool. Jared Wilson, that's probably my favorite pick of this whole draft.
I think after that, I probably would have gone like a defensive tackle. I probably would have gone maybe another corner, another defensive linebacker at some point instead of just keep my offensive line. But outside of that, like I would have probably changed a couple picks to kind of defensive side of the ball. Especially like the tight end, I would have probably just gone wide receiver earlier.
Wait, it's Jason Taylor's kid? Oh, wow. So it's Joy Taylor's nephew? Interesting. So there you go. I would give this one, I'd give this one like a B+, A-.
Yeah, I'd go like B-. B.
I like this one. I like this one a lot. All right. We'll get to we got another one here. This one, again, I don't know the name. I don't know the name of this one, but one of these are Ryan's. Ryan in the chat. Shout out. This might be his. All right. 38, so it's a trade back.
Trade back for Jack Sawyer.
Yeah. Tate Ratledge, guard,
Pat
at 60.
Bryant.
Pat Bryant, Jamari Caldwell, Ty Robinson, Oluwafemi, Oladejo.
Hendon Hooker out of Toledo. I think we saw that safety actually at the combine. And then O'Donnell Fortune. Couple trades in here. 3 trades.
The first, I mean, I love all these picks. I don't know as much about Max and Hook or Donald Fortune, if I'm being honest, but it's 198 and 230. But like Jack Sawyer, trade back and get him. Awesome. Ty Robinson and Jamari Caldwell. You probably, if in my opinion, you'd probably take one edge. Maybe I don't know if I think Ty Robinson's probably like a 3-tech. Maybe if you take Jamari Caldwell, you don't take Ty Robinson. You take like an edge or swap them. But
yeah, the one thing in this draft too that I noticed is, Tate Ratledge. I was gonna say I didn't see offensive line, but Tate yeah.
Yeah, and I love Oluwafemi.
Out of UCLA.
Yeah, he's that's who Russ loves too. Russ Brown. He joined.
Oh yes.
He's That dude's just a linebacker. He's like an edge linebacker hybrid kind of thing. He's good. So I like that. This one, I'll give this one a B. I like
Yeah,
this.
I'd probably go the same way. I would be interested too. I don't know if I would want to trade. This is just me. Like, I think I would be a little upset if Brad traded back and just went Jack. Like, I think that you can get a better edge rusher than Jack Sawyer in this draft where you're sitting at.
Yeah, you probably could have got like Jordan Birch instead, or some other guy, whatever.
Or just like you're at 28, you can go get, I don't know, Nick Scorton, who's probably going to be better than Jack Sawyer. As much as we all might not like him, but he's probably going to be better. So like, I want the best edge rusher in this class outside of Abdul. So.
Yeah, you want the quality over the quantity of picks.
Yes.
I get that. All right.
That's
this
my only thing.
Yeah, I like it. It's a pretty good mock. All right, let's see here. Let me get this so we can move on from that one. All right. This one. Oh, this one's interesting. All right. Speaking of this, here you go. Here's two.
Whoa.
Let me zoom in on this so you guys can. I know it's a little.
Wow, the last two picks, Jeff.
This one's looking good, man. I like this one a lot. So you got James Pierce at 28, which is okay.
Yeah.
Jack Sawyer at 60, CJ West, defensive lineman, 101, Pat Bryant, Jake Majors, Donovan Edwards, Tyler Shuck. This might be the best draft so far.
Yeah. It's very like there's not outside of the double edge, there's not one position group that you went double in. So like you just went and got a bunch of guys all around. I don't know if that's realistic.
Yeah, a couple of these like James Pierce, will he be there at 28? I don't know. But Donovan Edwards, there's your D-Mon.
Honestly, I just don't know what the Don's going to be in the NFL. I'm not like I don't even know if he gets drafted. No, I mean, listen, I think he has everything you need. It's just like
in a 7th round pick too for him. That's
how consistent. I mean, he might go undrafted. How consistent? He hasn't been that consistent.
That's probably his question mark, just consistency. But I like this. I like this, man. Double up edge. You got defensive lineman. I like Jake Majors a lot.
There's zero chance Tyler's available in the 7th round.
Yeah, Tyler Shuck's probably not there. It's in the 7th round. He's probably 3rd. Yeah, 3rd, 4th. But Jesse Adams says, remember, Jeff, the Don said he's the next Barry Sanders.
Did you say that?
No, he said the Don said he's the next Barry Sanders.
Oh.
Lions fan 23, Malachi Moore would be perfect, has Chem with BB and Terrion.
Yeah, I mean, I think Malachi Moore, yeah.
That's safety. So. That out of Alabama. That Brad probably is gonna love because he's from Alabama and he's pretty good.
I think I had my first mock draft. I think I had picked him.
Yeah, he's a pretty good player. He's a pretty good player.
I went in depth on him. No Diddy, I did a lot of game film on him. Read up a little bit. Good dude.
Here's the next one. That one I give an A to. I don't know the realistic James Pierce at 28, but I love that. I love that one.
Yeah, I like that. I would go A as well.
All right. Next mock.
Here we go.
Walter Nolan at 29. Emory Jones, tackle from LSU at 60. Jared Ivey at 79. Ricky White at 133. Marcus Tate, the guard, at 198. Zah Frazier, cornerback, and Jalen Walker. I actually like Walter Nolan. I like some of the names. I like some of the picks, but the thing is, I'd probably want an edge a little earlier. I don't know. Jared Ivey I like, but it's Jared Ivey would be essentially like the answer at edge. I don't know. At 79, you probably want to take one at 60 instead.
Are you dying on the Jared Ivey hill? That's where
the only edge you took this draft, so he's probably.
Yeah.
I love Walter Nolan, but it's the same thing with like Kenneth Grant. If you take Kenneth Grant or Walter Nolan, you gotta tell. And you traded back a pick. It looks like
28 to 29, and then you traded up for Jared Ivey, essentially. I don't know. I don't know how I'd feel about this draft. I'd probably just go like a B.
Yeah, I'd probably want an edge a little earlier. I like Walter Nolan though, man. I do.
Jesse Adams
Yes.
said Nolan can go inside and out though. There you go, Brad's tweener.
Yeah, you know what?
That's it. There we go.
Yeah, there you go.
Makes sense.
There's your tweener. But Walter Nolan's a beast, so I'm not mad at that. But yeah, that Jared Ivey, okay. Yeah, I'd probably give this one like a B. There are no bad mocks yet. We have and then we have one more here that I have. I don't know if you have extra ones, but at least that I have. I'll put more up. All right, here's another one. You might like this one. Here we go. 28, Donovan Izaraku. 60, Darius Alexander, the defensive tackle.
This is a lot of picks.
108, Joshua Farmer. So they got
Back-to-back.
back defensive tackles. I don't know if I love that. You took 3, 4, 1, 2, 3,
Five.
4,
Five.
5 defensive tackles.
So basically, this and this
Trenches.
is basically
All
5
trenches.
defensive tackles, Jeff, 1 edge rusher, and 3 offensive linemen.
And they're tackles. Oh no, they're
Hey,
guards. So,
This is what you talk about the trenches. This is how you get the trenches right here.
Oh my god. Yeah, this is
This would never happen. I'd give this like a C, a D. This would be like a D.
yeah.
First 2 picks, I was like all in on, and then after that, I'm out.
Yeah, whoever made this was on shrooms or something before they did this mock draft. This is crazy. Yeah, I mean Izaraku's a good pick, but after that, it's just I don't even know who any of these dudes are. I mean,
Darius Alexander probably won't.
Darius
be there,
Alexander
but
is a good pick.
great pick. He'll be going top 40, I bet.
Yeah,
That's
at
a
least
lot
you
of
get-
these.
one of these guys got to hit. Then I mean, shit.
We got to clip that. Jeff being like back-to-back defensive tackles. Wait, 3 of them, 4.
There's 5. There's 6. This is ridiculous.
Oh man, I wonder whose was that.
I don't know.
Might be Scotty B in the chat. He said trench warfare at its best. That might be Scotty B.
Yeah. Yeah, Zach says I draft better on shrooms. Okay, well, Jomo says, why pick up Allen? Maybe trading Hooker? Interesting. I don't know. It's Allen, like, again, it's not, if you sign like a good backup, I could see that, but like Kyle Allen's not like he was on the Steelers, but guess what? Guess who the Steelers had? Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. It's not like he was backing up anyone. You know what I mean? Like he's basically like the Jake Fromm. Like if they signed a better backup, I would be like, okay, maybe they are trading Hendon Hooker. I don't think Kyle Allen means they're trading Hendon Hooker. He's not
Listen.
the answer to me as like a backup. Like he's
I'm
fine.
gonna be honest with you, or you want me?
No, go on. You could, if you like him, you could say it.
No, I still think there's a chance in the back of my head that Hendon Hooker isn't your starting or your backup quarterback in 2025. Like I just think, and I'll fall back on the Teddy Bridgewater stuff, man. Like the fact that Teddy's the one that came in that playoff game. I think that's very telling. And I'm not saying Kyle Allen's about to be your backup quarterback at all, but would I be shocked if they brought in another quarterback, a Jameis Winston, and they're like, we'll roll?
Yeah, like if you sign Jameis, then I'd be like, okay, he's a backup. Like,
yeah. This
Kyle
might
Allen's
be
not
one where
like
they compete a little bit. Like, hey, let's compete in training camp and see what happens. It might be like that type of situation. They do need to they need to bring someone in to compete with Hendon Hooker, and not just to like, hey, like let's just bring a guy in to mentor him. Like, no, like you need Hendon Hooker to compete for his job. You need to see his best. And obviously they haven't seen that because he's just been developing. But again, what was one of those things with Hendon Hooker coming out of the draft, Jeff? Same thing with Tyler Shuck. Is it Shuck? Shuck out of Louisville.
Yeah, older.
He's an older player. And if you're sitting here just like basically just sitting on it and just waiting for him to develop, and you're like, all right, he just needs to get mentored. It's like, I mean, like I'm gonna look it up. How old is Hendon Hooker? Like at what point?
27 maybe.
Yeah, he's 27 years old. At what point is it like, okay, we just need to go and move on from that? I mean, he's literally 3 years younger than Jared Goff. 3 years younger. And how long has Jared Goff been in the NFL?
Yeah, I mean, that's fair.
That's crazy.
That's fair.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Jared Goff's going in his 10th season in the NFL, and Hendon Hooker's 3 years younger than him. He's played 7. Like, that's crazy. So if you're developing a guy that's supposed to be for a future, he's 27 years old, and he just keeps needing other guys to come in. And I think I'm out on the Hendon Hooker experiment personally.
I still got some faith. I don't know what faith is though at this point. Is it just faith for him to be a backup? I guess. I don't know. He's not going to start, obviously. That's why, even though I like Hendon Hooker, he's a bust. Like, you don't take him to back him up. You don't take a guy in the 3rd round to be a backup. You don't. That's stupid. That's ridiculous.
What? I don't know.
Yeah.
They traded for him too, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Or no, am I crazy?
They traded up for him. I don't know, actually. I don't know if I
might have traded back, to be honest.
Whatever it was, yeah. They drafted him in the 3rd round. So even if I like Hendon Hooker, it's still a dumb pick. Like, you don't take a guy to be a backup in the 3rd round. So there's other teams that probably would have taken him that need a quarterback. Like, maybe the Raiders would have taken him at some point. You know what I mean? Like, let that guy go to a team that actually will use him.
Yeah, agreed.
And maybe Brad took him as like hey, maybe he beats out Jared and we give our starter and it just didn't work out. Because I think Jared didn't sign his extension at that point. So
no, he didn't sign it until the year, I think, after. He just signed it this last year.
Let's see what we got. Let's see what this guy is, like BPA, like Brad always says.
I would like to go back in that draft and see who he could have gotten over Hendon Hooker. I'd be interested to see.
Well, you know what?
Pull it up. I can pull it up.
I'll tell you right now.
2023 NFL draft.
Yep.
Where did he go? So he went 68th overall. Where did they trade? Did they trade back for Hendon Hooker? Anyone in the chat? What pick did they trade back? Hendon Hooker trade.
Well, Byron Young went after him. And Kobe Turner.
He went after Hendon Hooker?
Both. Yeah, the Rams had 2 rookies get 8.5 sacks, and it was Kobe Turner and Byron Young, and they went after Hendon Hooker.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yaya Diaby.
Yeah.
He went after.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Kobe Turner. Oh, my gosh. Oh, don't show anyone that. Oh, no. The same round. Oh, man. That's a tough one. I'll say, you know what? That one hurts.
That's brutal. Yeah, like not one, but 2 guys the Rams drafted right after Hendon Hooker got like 8 sacks the rookie year. It's like that stings for sure. Stings. That stings like a son of
Yaya Diaby, too, being on the board, too. I think he has like 12 career sacks.
Oh, yeah.
Yaya Diaby, rookie year, guess what he had? 7.5.
Yeah.
That's a tough look. Last year he had 4.5. That's that. I mean, hey, it's the difference right there. That's the Eagles' difference.
Oh, that sucks, doesn't it? Ivasa says, if Josh Simmons falls to us, would you be mad if we took him?
No. As long as I don't think so.
You don't think you would be mad or what?
Knowing with your offensive line what you need, I don't know. Like Klotz, he makes the point all the time. Knowing what you need from it, there's like that side of me. I've said it before, Jeff. Like I prefer D line. Like I would pick D line, but if it happened, I'm not like throwing my computer across the room, or I'm not walking off the draft stream as some people do. Like I'm gonna be like, okay, here we go. Like they're looking into the future here, you know?
Yeah, it's fair. I wouldn't be upset. Like I said, I got to see the whole puzzle. I got to see what happens. You know, if you end up with Jordan Birch, I'm happy with it. Jack Sawyer.
If Josh Simmons is there, you pull the trigger. You take Josh Simmons. You rearrange that offense. You sign the vet that Boone wants. Sign the vet. You sign the Will Hernandez, okay? You do that, and Josh Simmons is sitting there. You take him. Because next offseason, You're thinking of Frank Ragnow's replacement. You're thinking of Graham Glasgow's replacement. You're thinking of Taylor Decker's replacement. We already got Taylor Decker. Okay. You already got his replacement in line, and he's going to be a perennial Pro Bowler. So he'd take Josh Simmons if he's there.
Yeah, I mean, did you just get like called out of nowhere? Like when you hear Josh?
That was weird. That was very weird.
The first thing I heard when I joined the studio was Klotz. He says it all the time. Like, I mean, I'm not there, but I wouldn't hate it. Boom. Josh Simmons goes off the board in the mid-20s of Detroit Lions. Better have a big smile on your face.
Yeah, I want to be pounding the table, but if it happened, all right.
If he falls past, I'm just letting you boys know. If he starts sliding past 15, I'm gonna start hitting a
pounding the table.
I'm gonna start pounding a table.
Give me an edge rusher, man.
Hey, Klotz, you see Kyle Allen, big move.
Huge move.
I am a Kyle as a backup quarterback. I'm a Kyle Allen fan. I think he's one of the top 10.
Should have known.
Backup quarterbacks.
That's a classy
he's
guy,
a better
Jeff.
chance to win than Hendon Hooker.
Jeff,
Tell you that much.
That's a classy guy.
Tell you that much.
Kyle Allen.
Kyle Allen, PJ Walker, Hefe. I like those former Panther backup quarterbacks.
Listen, Hendon Hooker.
He's no Jameis Winston.
At some point, Jeff has to say the words, Hendon Hooker's on the hot seat. It has to come out of his mouth. Has to.
He's in denial.
It ain't going to be Kyle Allen. I'm going to tell you that.
It's going to be someone.
Can we break bread over this? Kyle Allen is levels better than Jake Fromm or Nate Sudfeld at the bare minimum.
I said this is basically what the Lions did last season. They brought in Jake Fromm, Nate Sudfeld. Well, Nate Sudfeld was here, but it's like they bring in some depth in the quarterback room, and then when the season starts, they cut bait. Watch, Kyle Allen will be on the practice squad or something.
Imagine if they trade Hendon Hooker, man. That would be something.
Jeff would be crippled for a good 7.
Oh my
No, actually, I
gosh.
wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad if they traded him. I wouldn't be mad. I'd want to see him where he goes. I'd like to see him blossom. I'd like to see what happens.
That would be something.
If he gets traded somewhere, starts and looks like one of the worst quarterbacks of all time, and he just stinks, then I'd be sad for sure. But I wouldn't be mad if he gets traded. I wouldn't be mad. I think he deserves to play somewhere.
Yeah,
he deserves to play.
If Joe Milton's on the trade block, Hendon Hooker should be as well. I think that's fair. I would even go
actually, I don't hate
say
that.
that Hendon Hooker is probably better than Joe Milton. We just haven't seen it. But I mean, if the Pats are trying to move off of him, time to do it with Hendon.
Who did Joe Milton beat last year?
The Bills.
I don't know if that counts as beating them. I was gonna say they took the starter.
But it's the
you
Patriots.
Can't say he won it.
He played well though. He played well.
Your guys' boy Jalen Polk as the wide receiver one. Keyshawn Boutte.
No, Klotz. Listen, I'll give him credit, but when you say Jalen Milroe beat an NFL team, it's like no, he beat a backup NFL team. I don't care who you have.
Joe Milton,
not Jalen Milroe.
Jalen Milroe.
Oh my bad.
I mean, good time.
I know.
Very
good
good time.
Who wants to bring in Jalen Milroe? Huh?
Listen, anything. I mean, I'm all. Klotz, when you were gone, I said I'm off Hendon Hooker. I'm out on the whole experiment of Hendon Hooker. I'm done. I'm just like, at what point? Klotz, the man is 27 years old. He's 3 years younger than Jared Goff. Jared's played in the NFL for 10 years. Like that's you gotta. It's like you can't just be like, we're developing a young quarterback. We just need someone in to mentor him. Like, no, the man's 27. He's going to be 30 by the time he's mentored and developed.
I'm with you. Once Goff re-signed, it should have been, and I feel like for a lot of people it did click, but there was still some out there. Maybe the person in the middle of this panel.
Yeah.
That, had hope for Hendon Hooker. But
the whole time we talk about Hendon Hooker, the man's just not looking at us. He hasn't turned his head.
I was looking up some things right here with Kyle.
Hey, he's watching those stons.
The man has not looked over once for a Hendon Hooker talk. The only comp, boys, that you can even put with Hendon Hooker at his age and like be like a guy who just sat forever and developed is Geno Smith. Like that's it. Like Geno just was like until like 30 years old was a backup.
I like that. Thought you were going to go down like a Kurt Warner route, Boone. Very happy you did. And I think Geno's accurate. And that honestly, like if I'm Vegas, like I don't think that's a bad move for you have Aiden O'Connell, Geno Smith, Hendon Hooker. Like I feel like Hendon Hooker can definitely bring a lot more to the table at this point than Aiden O'Connell. You know what Aiden O'Connell is. Hendon Hooker, very similar.
When did Gino take over and become a franchise guy? 31?
3 years ago. He's 35 right now, so 31, 32.
So that's the trajectory.
I like the Kurt Warner comparison.
Okay, get this guy. Hey, turn back around and look at your computer.
Yeah, go lock back into Cade.
Hey, we like the side profile better, brother.
You know, we like the side profile better. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like
this is what it is at this point.
Kyle
Is what
Allen,
it is.
It's like like
tried something out. At least
guy's
Brad
Nate
Holmes.
Sudfeld. That's what he is.
Yeah, truly. At least Brad Holmes. You live and you learn, right? So hopefully, Brad, next couple of drafts, doesn't take a quarterback that he knows is going to sit in the 3rd, 4th round again. So hopefully that's a thing of the past. I understand BPA. This is one of those things where Brad can be like, okay, Hendon Hooker is the best player available. We need a D-end. We need a corner. We need a safety. Who's the best at those spots? So
we just looked.
Not too much loss. Go ahead, Boone.
I'm going to say we just looked in the 3rd round of that same draft where Hendon Hooker went. He basically went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th in the 3rd round. He was the 5th pick in the 3rd round, 68th overall. Couple picks later. Where's he at? Byron Young.
I would say this is the Rams defensive line draft class.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure.
Not even a couple picks later. It was like 12, 13 picks later. So fell. A couple picks after that at 82 overall. Yaya Diaby to the Bucks, who had 7.5 sacks his rookie year. Couple picks later at 89, Kobe Turner, 17 career sacks. And it's like those are 3 guys in the same round that you could have just been like, let's stay put and just take that guy.
And to be fair, so it's not just a Hendon thing. Like there's been multiple. Like if you go, I'm sure if you look back at like the Broderick Martin pick, I'm sure there's a lot of good players around there. Sione Vaki, I'm sure there's a lot of good players around there. So that's where, I mean, when you look at it outside perspective, what's the common saying, boys? Something's 2020. When you look back at something in a certain vision, I feel like Jeff will know it. I lost it though. There's no chance.
You look back and you, I know exactly what you're trying to say.
You know
it's gone out of my head.
What it's like? When you look
retrospect? No.
It's
hindsight.
Hindsight is always 2020. Yep.
Everyone in the chat.
Hindsight. The chat at us. Come on now.
Shout out the chat. Yeah, and I'm with you, Klotz. But still, though, like you can look back at those and hey, what's going on here? Klotz, you missed it the whole time at the beginning of the show. I'll be so frustrated if you went to this next season with the guys you just have now, which feels like Brad's wanting to do.
What do you mean, Boone?
Like he feels like Davenport, Levi O, Josh Pascal, and he's like, we love those 3 guys. We're gonna run with those boys, and if we draft someone, we draft someone, but we like those 3 guys. Like that's our rotation. And it's like, that's pretty frustrating, to be honest.
I would be more like optimistic about it if say this is the case, because I think all 3 of us agree, like 1st, 2nd round, Brad will draft a defensive end. It's not just going to stay Marcus Davenport, nobody. But I don't think there's going to be, doesn't even have to be Trey Hendrickson, but like a notable player signed through free agency. And if you're just bringing in a rookie and then you have Marcus Davenport behind him, Aiden Hutchinson, somebody's going to be behind Hutch, I'd be a lot more optimistic about it if the coordinator conversation wasn't going on. And I'll take John Morton out of this. Like you guys know, I'm much higher in Kelvin Shepard than John Morton, but neither of them are a sure thing. But when you have a first-year coordinator and you see that the defense, even through injuries, like that wasn't for sure a defense that was going to win you Super Bowl, looked like it. But then again, we watched that Jaden Daniels performance. Like there could have been things that were exposed. Again, might have not have been as bad, but we don't know for sure that was a Super Bowl defense. Now you're replacing one of the better defensive coordinators in the NFL, and Aaron Glenn, with the first-year DC, and the teams around the NFL got a little bit better on the offensive side of the football. At least the Contenders, Commanders, you look like what they did to the offensive line. Eagles, not as much, because what room do they really have to grow? They let Mekhi Becton go, but Eagles are going to be in that same type of situation. You know, Howie's going to draft well. Look at the Vikings, Packers, the division in general. Just the NFC is going to get better. So that's where not signing Zadarius back, not going out and being semi-aggressive, bringing people out of Detroit into Detroit can bite you in the ass, because coordinator, again, doesn't mean when I say that there has to be a step back, Doesn't mean that Kelvin Shepard is going to be bad, but I think it would almost be disrespectful to what Aaron Glenn did in Detroit over the last couple of years of today. You know what? Calvin steps in, healthy defense. They're going to be right where they were last year, and that's where I push back a little bit. Maybe towards the end of the season they could be, because now if the injuries aren't a factor, but the first half of the season, there's definitely going to be that chemistry growing pain a little bit to get acclimated with this unit.
I agree. I think this whole thing comes down to the D line, and it's just been a swing and a miss forever. And it's like this. I said it earlier in the show, Klotz, like this is supposed to be Brad Holmes, like that's supposed to be his position group, and he has never been. He has figured every position group out in the whole roster. Everyone you can name any position group, he has at some point figured out a good player there. Besides the D line, Hutch, Hutch, Aleem. Okay, take those two out of it. Who else?
Yeah. Well, Levi Onwuzurike. Let's hear from the big fella, all right?
I love you, Levi, too, man. That's my guy. I love Levi.
Just to have them back and you now back in the fold and DJ and Aleem, it's going to be a lot of the same pieces. How much are you looking forward to running that back?
Yeah, that'll be fun. I mean, what happened last year was crazy. We can all admit that. And it's not going to happen again. That's one of those rare things that happen. I mean, you saw how we were rolling at the beginning of the year. So to have all those guys back, everybody side by side, I mean, we're gonna cause some damage for sure.
They're gonna cause some damage, huh?
I don't hate it. And as far as the Levi thing goes, I'm happy that I'm happy for Levi. Okay, I know I'm somebody that's been very overly critical of Levi Onwuzurike, especially his first 2 years. But last year, he saw a little bit of juice in Levi, stayed for the most part pretty healthy. I thought he was pretty dependable when he was on the field. Obviously, he wasn't Ali McNeil or DJ Reader, but I think he's a reliable piece that you can have back in this rotation. But it goes back into the same situation. Boone and I and Jeff, I'm sure you agree with us, the same conversation that we were just having. So I'm sure inside the locker room, like the vibes that we always talk about, vibes are sky high. I'd imagine
I love
that
the vibes.
there's everyone in that locker room believes they're going to win a Super Bowl. But I promise you, I wouldn't say all 32, because I think if you know that you're a Cleveland Brown, New York Giant, New Orleans Saint, you're not winning a Super Bowl this year. But there's a lot of locker rooms who probably feel very good about what they got going on. So again, It's like there's a lot of teams in this situation. What are these teams going to do through this offseason? Lions isn't over. But again, they will cause some damage. Like, this is going to be a very good team. This defense isn't going to go out there and be ass. Like, if they go up against a 500 team, like, you're going to see dominant games from this defense. The whole conversation with this defensive line, defense in general, is when you go up against the Eagles, when you go up against Matthew Stafford, who instead of having an injured Cooper Kupp now has a first ballot Hall of Famer, Devontae Adams. Like, Cooper Kupp was really good, but you look at what both those wide receivers have done over the last 3 years. Obviously, Cooper Kupp and his Triple Crown, but people what Devontae Adams have been doing with Aiden O'Connell, Aaron Rodgers, who's not Aaron Rodgers anymore. Like, now he's going to Sean McVay, who can scheme any wide receiver wide open, and Matthew Stafford, who's playing high caliber football, and I imagine will for the next year or two. Might not be Super Bowl winning Stafford, but between those, like the offenses in the NFL, like that defense, they got to cause some damage and a little bit more because they're behind the 8 ball compared to some other defensive lines.
I mean, DJ Reed mentioned the defense. Talked about what he saw on tape. Let's hear what he had to say. Let's hear from DJ Reed.
Just been a fan, just far away as far as looking at teams, because we cross paths from watching other teams. You see Detroit Lions defense on tape, and we used to talk about it, just the way they played. Whether injuries happen, you could tell that the standard was the standard. A bunch of guys that care about football, a bunch of guys throwing their body around for the main cause, which was to win a Super Bowl last year. It's fun to see. It's exciting to see guys playing for something that's bigger than themselves. That's something that I wanted to be a part of. Man, just been
they
love DJ Reed. Klotz, you gotta watch all of his press conference.
I will. I haven't been able to see much of any of the conferences from today. I saw a bunch of people posting Roy Lopez.
We played some clips earlier on the show, and I mean DJ Reed's a dude, man. He's gonna be.
Would you say
change his defense?
Would you say personality wise from the interviews, kind of like a Meek, maybe not identical, but as far as like mindset?
I just think he like means business. Like he's a pro's pro. You see guys, that have been through this team where it's like, yeah, like you do have a mindset, but it's still like a little bit about yourself. Like he's just like he said it. I already said it today, but like he's just like, I just want a Lombardi. That's all that matters to him. He's like, I don't care about money. I don't care about anything else. He's like, I just want a Lombardi. That's all I have left in my career. So like he means business. And I was telling Jeff earlier, I'm and Ra's dad. I guess they all worked out. John Brown. They all worked out in Cali together. And EQ said that John Brown loves him, and he said that he's like a dude that just is locked in. Every time he shows up, he's like he's a pro's pro. And if John Brown loves him, he's a dude. He's good
someone
to go.
We need to get on the show is John Brown.
That would be sweet.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm hyped for DJ Reed, guys. I mean, he fits. So what you're just saying, but like he fits what this team is all about. Yeah, he's 5'9". We talked about when it first signed, but if you've played in the NFL for as long as DJ Reed has and be successful the way that DJ Reed has, and you could see him like even when he went from Seattle to San Francisco to New York, like he got better and better and better. Now I understand this year probably didn't look as good, but look at even like Sauce Gardner. Sauce didn't have his best year. Quentin Williams didn't have his best year. That Jets defense as a whole, when Robert Saleh left, like you could see the difference in that defensive talent. So DJ Reed, I think there's an opportunity, especially with Aiden Hutchinson in front of him, and hopefully this defense gets better over the next 3 years, where DJ Reed could be playing his best football, especially if Terrion Arnold emerges, because the thing that DJ Reed didn't have in New York, they had Chuck Clark, who was solid at safety, but to have that safety tandem behind you and Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch, you know how, like, if I was a corner, I could just go, like, I just got to truly worry about what the fuck I have to worry about. You don't have to worry. I mean, you're going to be communicating, but if, like, you get burnt, Kirby Joseph can go from hash to sideline and pick off an interception just like that. We've seen it. I mean, since he stepped foot in the NFL, no one in the NFL has created more turnovers than Kirby Joseph. So I think DJ Reed is happy to be here. And if you look, because I saw the report that he was like, it was either Detroit or Washington. I bet a big part of that, since money wasn't really a factor compared to winning, was the supporting cast in that secondary, because Washington, they got Mikey Sanders still, Marshawn Lattimore. But besides that, like, the Lions have the better secondary. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see DJ Reed start playing his best football of his career.
Hey, and Terrion, let Terrion step up.
Come on.
Yeah. Watch Davenport go out there get 9 sacks.
Yeah, that ain't happened. That hasn't happened in, I think, 5-6 years.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I would like this defensive line to be good. So hopefully tomorrow, when we do our show tomorrow, we get some bigger news. That's what I'm hoping for, at least. You know, I want something big to happen. Not big, but like, you know, bringing a body.
Something meaningful, like of significance.
Kyle Allen, that's not meaningful to anyone. Hendon Hooker's on the hot seat. Come on now.
Him and Giovanni Manu will be running great practice squad reps.
Yeah. Oh, no. hey, Kyle Allen, Gio Manu, Colby Sorsdale. I mean, what are we talking about here?
Tom Kennedy ain't leaving. They'll bring in. They won't bring in a
Maurice Alexander. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Run it back.
What are we talking about? What a squad there. The practice squad. Oh man. Tom Kennedy is a funny pull, man.
Tom Kennedy. Judon.
I just want Judon to happen just so Boone can have his victory lap. You've been saying Matthew Judon since last trade deadline, Boone.
For 2 years now. And there was a point too. Never mind. I won't say it. I may have already said it. But I would say I talked to his brother. His brother, like his brother, like, I went to college with his brother, and his brother, the best, like, you know, hit me back. I was like, get that man in Detroit, man. And he gave me a little like, mm-hmm. And then it just didn't happen. He goes to Atlanta. His brother's a good dude, bro. Yeah. He would drive up when Matthew Judon first got paid. His brother got a new car, all decked out at campus, and would drive up. I'd walk into campus for practice. He would be bumping music, roll his window down. He had a toothpick in his mouth. He'd be like, Booner, and then he would just drive off. I was like, all right, bro. Tinted windows, and I'll just hear the boom, 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 pull right up to me. Window down. Hey, he wasn't like, hey, you want to ride or not? Then he was
just flex. I let you know what he was rolling in for the moment.
Booner. What's up, bro? Just pull off.
Oh yeah, ETN just mentioned it, boys. I'm gonna send the link. I do.
For what?
What did you guys see what DeMarcus Lawrence said today?
No, I didn't.
Oh, it's really not Lions related, but it kind of is just because of the history between the Lions and Cowboys over the last couple of years. I'm gonna send it in Slack. Real quick.
Actually, I just
Here,
saw
I
this.
got it.
Dove
You got it?
Kleiman just
You
tweeted
got
something
Hefe?
new out. Yeah, DeMarcus Lawrence is on like a Twitter battle with Michael Parsons right now, like currently as we speak.
That's comedy. Well, Mike is probably pissed off because there's truth in this, and he's about
Here.
to get paid.
We actually shout out. We spoke to Brian. He joined the show before.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Saw him at the combine too.
Elite setup.
Dallas is my home. I made my home there. You know, my family lives there. You know, I'm forever going to be there. But, you know, I know for sure I'm not going to win a Super Bowl there. So, yeah. We here.
We're here. DeMarcus Lawrence, welcome to the Seahawks. Thanks for joining us. That,
you know,
Yeah, Brian was like, "Yep, I just went viral." All right.
Yeah.
As soon as you hear that, you're like,
"That's what we needed."
Yeah, Brian's like,
Shout
that's
out.
crazy.
I mean, let's
actually.
to be fair though. I'm not going to defend the Cowboys, but like, you're going to win a Super Bowl in Seattle.
Seattle.
Yeah.
I mean, that's telling though that he feels like he has a better chance in Seattle than he does
with
Dallas.
Sam Darnold. Come on.
That's nuts, dude. And then I don't know if I could pull it up here on my end. Let me pull up this Dove Kleinman was tweeting it out. I'm guessing it's real. Dove is. Oh no.
I don't know what it is, but
Hold on. Maybe it's JPA, or
Michael
maybe they just.
Parsons,
I think they just posted the exact same thing. Oh, actually, what I'll do, I'll just go to Micah's Twitter. How about that? That's pretty simple, hey boys.
how about it?
Hey, we
Michael
didn't even
Parsons.
mention this either. Vildor signing with the Bucks.
Yeah, how
He'll
about
be
that,
back.
boy?
He'll be back. That'll be one of those things where it'll just be like life is a simulation. Come like week 15, week 16, the Buccaneers will be like, you know what? Got to bring somebody up on the offensive line. We got injuries, tight end room. Vildor,
back.
it's been nice. Week 17, week 18. Breaking news. Brad Holmes and the Detroit Lions have brought back Kendall Vildor for his third time with the team. It'll be a 1-year deal. He'll finish out the season.
So Michael Parsons, he says this what rejection and envy looks like. Oh no.
Some clown shit.
This is
you know,
some clown shit.
I mean,
and then
Michael
DeMarcus
G-
Lawrence. Oh no.
Oh,
Call me a clown won't change the fact that I told the truth. Maybe if you spent less time tweeting and more time winning, I wouldn't have left.
Oh, he bodied him
purple
on that.
devil
No,
emoji, yeah, me
DeMarcus
too.
bodied him on that response.
You know?
DeMarcus won that exchange for sure. Yeah, DeMarcus won that exchange.
And DeMarcus Lawrence, honestly,
he said,
at this point, like, has room to talk over Micah Parsons. Like, DeMarcus Lawrence has probably been, I don't know exactly, but damn near in Dallas for a decade, I'd imagine. Like,
Yeah,
around that. Like, he was there with Tony Romo. He was there with Dak Prescott, Amari Cooper. Like, he has seen it all. He's like, yeah, I know well enough that we're not winning a Super. And what was Micah doing last year? Micah last year in the offseason was creating a whole bunch of fucking problems. So for him to come to DeMarcus Lawrence and be like, this is like, no, dude, you were going on podcasts, going around touring the world with CJ Stroud, talking about who's the best quarterback.
He still is right now.
That's what I'm saying. So Micah, like, he literally posted, "It's my time" with the line emoji. Like, I think you know exactly what happens if you're going to make that post. You just want clicks. People talk about Micah Parsons, and now people are talking about DeMarcus Lawrence. And he ain't liking it. He didn't like what he said. But
Micah loves what Micah is. There's players like this. They love what the NFL brings them, not as much the NFL. But he loves being in the NFL. He doesn't like. He loves the NFL life, like being famous, being the player he is. He's not like a guy that just loves the game. You know, he's not in love with the game. He's in love with what the game brings him. You know what I mean?
He's my Joel Embiid of the NFL. Like, I hated Joel Embiid forever. I still do. I don't like Micah Parsons. And I'll stand by what I tweeted out a couple months ago when I got absolutely killed from Lions Twitter. I don't want Micah Parsons ever on the Detroit Lions. I don't care what he brings. I don't care how many sacks he brings. I don't want it. He's a guy that he can't win. He doesn't win. I'll take the level of player. What is he going to do? Come in and just like no,
what is he going to do? What is Micah Parsons
I'm out.
do alongside Aiden
Hutchinson? I'm not a sellout. I don't sell out.
The DeMarcus saying that though, is like, maybe if you spent less time tweeting, you'd actually like.
I don't sell out. I'm not a sellout.
Did Micah respond to that?
No,
I don't think
what are you
doubt
gonna
he
say?
would. That's
What are you gonna
that's a
say?
body.
Yeah, he probably is
putting
just
a
sitting there
body
right
on.
now. He's probably typed out like 10 different replies. Like, not it.
Shit.
Not it. Boone, I
Yeah.
respect your commitment to the cause when it comes to not wanting
I'm not a
Micah Parsons
sellout.
in Detroit. But I'm not pounding it. But if like I got the notification that Brad Holmes is traded
No.
2 first-round picks for Micah Parsons and name a player, I would be sitting there beaming with a smile that you can wipe off my face. For
I would throw my phone. I would be
Throw your
so
phone
mad.
I threw my phone over Marcus Davenport. Throwing your phone
No.
over Micah Parsons is
I don't want Micah
ridiculous.
Parsons near the city of Detroit. I don't. That man's had too much to say about Detroit. And I'll take, if you're gonna make a trade for Micah Parsons, go get me. You should have got me Myles Garrett or Trey Hendrickson. I give me a dude that just wants to win. Myles Garrett just wants to win. Micah doesn't care. I want a guy that wants to put the work in.
Myles Garrett just wants to win, Boone.
Yeah,
what he said. It's what
That's
he
what
said.
he said.
He just
as long
signed
as you
his
say
life away
it,
to the
as
Cleveland
long as you
Browns.
say it, Micah won't even say it. Micah's just like,
Yeah,
hey,
but at least Miles isn't like
when's
yapping
my
all
next
over.
podcast? When's my next live show? Like, buddy, play football. Like, dude, win a game.
Yeah,
What you're saying, Boone?
No, not at all. Like, as long as if you're losing though, and you're doing all this extracurricular stuff, it's like, dude, just shut up. Go win something. Prove something. Like, what are we doing here?
Fair take.
Micah Parsons. I just looked. Marcus Lawrence is getting roasted by Cowboys fans for that reply. It's like you guys are just coping so bad. Like, DeMarcus Lawrence is right, dude. Like, he's like, man, I'm sick of this.
At his phone. Yeah.
He's like, I'm sick of this shit, man. I've seen it all in Dallas. I'm ready to go. Yeah, Paul George. Yeah, Shift God. That's facts. He's on that Paul George shit, dude.
And what did Paul George do?
Same way.
What did Paul George do?
Literally.
No, what did he just do the last month? He said, I got to hang up the podcasting.
Yeah,
so
because he was getting roasted so bad for it. Like,
yeah,
it's such a bad thing. Like, look, to have like it's not even like Amon Ra has a podcast, but it's like once a week, and they just talk. Like, they just do their little, they chop it up.
What's his brother?
Yeah, it's with his brother.
Is,
but like,
if you're doing it and you're all pro player and you're producing and your team's winning, like if you're taking care of your business, you're able to do those things. But when you're not taking care of your own business and your team's losing and everything's going wrong,
always hurt.
Yes, and it's like he's not playing great all the time. They're losing. It's just like when you're not in this position, like
playoff P.
You can't do it, man. You can't.
He said playoff P. Yeah.
Once it like clearly starts affecting your game, then that's all right. You probably shouldn't do it anymore. Like if Amon Ra was literally playing very bad and costing us games because he is just like taking tours around the world for his podcast, it's like, all right, yeah, maybe we should reassess there.
Yeah, the world tour was kind of crazy, actually.
He's in Dubai this week with Justin Fields.
Mike is?
Yeah. When Justin Fields, they literally just posted a video of them doing like sandboarding, basically like snowboarding in sand dunes. And Justin Fields, I don't know if you guys saw the video. Justin Fields was sandboarding, and this is like right after he signed his $40 million deal, falls off, and all of them are like, and Bijan Robinson's there, and he's like, man, just signed $40 million. He's like, I'm not getting on that thing. I'll watch. And Mike is just in the side laughing like,
yeah, I mean, they get hurt, man. Playing with your money. Yeah, especially Micah. Like, you want to be bubble wrapped until you get that deal, and then figure it out.
I'd only pay him like $30 million, man. I'm not paying Michael Parsons $40.
Yeah,
he wants it. Klotz has no integrity over there. Zero integrity.
I'm trying to think of a player that I could describe Micah Parsons to, where it's just like, if you can line up on Sundays and play good football, like, I'll deal with it. I'm trying to think.
Not if you keep losing, though.
Terrell Owens, I'd put up with it. Randy Moss, I'd put up with it. Antonio Brown, I'd put up with it. I know I'm naming a bunch of wide receivers, but the point is like, if you are that select elite group, and I think take positions out of it, Micah Parsons is a bona fide, objective, elite player in the NFL. Probably a top 15 player in the NFL. If you can just go up there on Sunday and sack Caleb Williams, I'm fine.
Hey, Jeff, what did I
Money could
text
be
you
an
the other
issue.
day? What did I text you the other day, Jeff? I'll keep my integrity overall.
Oh.
Yeah, what was that even? I remember that. What was
I
that?
don't know, but I'm keeping my integrity. I don't care about it. I want the integrity. Hey, what's the thing? A lot of those guys that you named, though, Klotz, what did they do?
Just bounce around in the NFL.
No,
None of them got a
they
Super
didn't.
Bowl.
No, a lot of them did that you named off. Someone put in the chat
T.O.
Richard
and,
Sherman. Someone
Randy.
put Richard Sherman.
Richard Sherman's another good one.
Yeah. I
Yep.
don't think Randy was. I don't think Randy was even close to Micah though. Like when Randy went to the Patriots, Randy Moss. When he went to the Patriots, though, have you watched behind the scenes of that? He was. He was
What are
a
you saying?
team.
Not close, as in?
Like he was a team guy. Like I don't know if you watched the videos. Like he was a
That's
team
fair.
guy. I can't sit
saying
here and say
distraction.
Michael Parsons is a team guy. Like that's where I look at it more so as like a team guy. Is Micah that? I can't
thought you were about
guarantee
to
it.
say that Randy wasn't talented. I was about to be. I would leave the show.
No,
I was about to.
no,
You're like,
no,
he's not even
no.
close.
One of the
to
greatest
Micah.
of all time, man. Come on now. I'm talking about
Yeah.
team guys. That's my integrity. I'm not moving.
Yeah, I get it. You know
Booner
what?
keeps anything. It's his integrity.
Well, hey, appreciate you all. Tomorrow we'll be live. We got our first round mock tomorrow to wrap up free agency. So the boys will be live. We'll do our first round mock. We'll react to anything Lions related. Hopefully more things come out that we can react to, and maybe there's another Kyle Allen type of move. Can't wait for it. But until then, appreciate you all. Much love as always. We'll catch you tomorrow. Peace.
Breaking news: the Detroit Lions have signed